Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar on healthy substitutions. Before I turn it over to Coach Steph, just a couple items to take care of. We will have time for questions at the end of the presentation today, and you can type those into the question box in the lower portion of your control panel. We will be posting a recording of the webinar on our blog. The link for that will be shown at the end as well. And if you would like a PDF copy of the presentation, there will be a link to download that on that same post as the recording. If your question does not get answered today, please email our support inbox, which will be shown at the end as well. All right, let me turn it over to Coach Steph.
Okay, thank you, Coach Shelby. Afternoon and welcome. Today's topic is Swap It, healthy substitutions. Let's face it, we all lead pretty busy lives. On-the-go meals and snacks mixed with little to no time for exercise can become the norm. During this time, we may also sacrifice sleep and time for ourselves. The unfortunate part, these shortcuts end up leaving us drained, both physically and mentally, the exact opposite of what we need to keep up with that action-packed day. For many of us, time is not the only barrier. Healthy habits require resources, motivation, support, and knowledge. And to top it off, change is really hard. Can anyone out there relate? So how do we break this cycle? Now, let's not make any brash decisions. Rather, let's discuss some simple, maybe surprising substitutions that you can put into action as soon as today. So today's agenda. First, let's take a look at nutrition. This is where we will spend a majority of today's time. We'll discuss healthy swaps and recipes. We'll then take a look at hydration, exercise, and end with sleep, stress, and self-care. During today's webinar, I highly encourage you write down one or two substitutions that resonate with you. Like I said, we're going to cover a lot, so let's start slow and really commit to a few swaps. Okay, so food. We need it, we love it, and for the most part, it defines the majority of our day. And it should. It plays an immense role in our health. Food is needed to fuel our bodies and our minds. It can give us energy or it can drag us down. The unfortunate part, a lot of food out there, while it may be convenient, drags us down, negatively impacting health and energy. So let's start from the top with breakfast. Think about it. What do you typically start your day with? Remember, this is your time to fuel your body and your mind for that busy yet great day ahead. From what I hear, a lot of us are actually skipping breakfast entirely or opting for something quick, something grab and go like. And that grab and go typically lends its way to carbs and sugars, maybe donuts, bagels, muffins, toast, cereals, etc. While time may be limited, especially in the morning, it shouldn't be an excuse to eat unhealthy. These high-carb, high-sugar foods leave our body void of nutrients and actually craving more and more sugar as the day goes on. So let's dive into a few swaps you can make, many that still remain pretty grab and go. It is important to note that a combination of carbs, fats, and protein is key with each meal. This combination will yield sustained energy throughout the day. We also want to incorporate whole, real foods and really work to reduce the processed ones as best as possible. Again, this will lend greater fiber, vitamin, mineral, and antioxidant uptake. Okay, so let's get started. The bread-based options I mentioned, again, are high carb, high sugar. Most of them processed with little to no protein or fat. So let's change that. So first example, instead of toast and jam, try opting for a slice of whole wheat or even sprouted grain toast. Add a variety of savory toppings. This could be mashed avocado, maybe hummus and cheese, eggs, and whatever veggies you enjoy. This swap cuts out a good amount of sugar and adds in that missing protein, some healthy fats, and nutrients. Our next example, cereal. So instead of cereal, try opting for a plain old-fashioned or steel-cut oats. Add in your own fruit, nuts, seeds, and spices like nutmeg or cinnamon for flavor. This breakfast offers great fuel. If you're on the go, try opting for overnight oats. And we'll actually take a look at overnights more when we get to the recipes. But another similar swap for cereal would be yogurt. I would encourage you to opt for a plain, full-fat, or Greek yogurt, and try avoiding the flavored options. Add in your own flavor, your own sweetness with those same recommended toppings that we discussed for the oatmeal. And for those of you really on the go, simply opt for a piece of fruit and peanut butter, string cheese, a hard-boiled egg, a handful of nuts, or homemade energy bars. Again, all quick, simple, clean options for breakfast. But if you do find yourself with a bit more time for breakfast, a great option would be smoothies and scrambles. When it comes to smoothies, simply get a good base of greens, a quality protein powder, and add in healthy fats such as avocado, yogurt, seeds, peanut butter, and top with fruit to sweeten. The options are really just as endless when it comes to scrambles as well. Opt for a variety of veggies, beans, maybe a grain like quinoa, eggs, cheese, and meat. So versatile and bursting with nutrients. Okay, so let's dive into a few recipes. So first off, we have overnight oats. So overnight oats are a great option, again, for those of you on the go. They are a make-ahead recipe that keeps for up to 5 days. The ingredients are simple. You'll need old-fashioned oats, a nut butter of your choice. This could be peanut, almond, cashew, or sunflower. A milk of your choice. This could be coconut, oat, or cow's milk. Fruit, and berries specifically are a great addition as they keep pretty well. So pretty simple ingredients. And this specific recipe we are going to discuss makes one serving. But again, these oats keep for up to 5 days. So feel free to double, triple, quadruple the recipe if you'd like. So starting off, you'll need 1/3 cup old-fashioned oats mixed with a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, a tablespoon nut butter, 1/2 cup milk, and a 1/2 cup fresh or frozen fruit. Okay, so you're going to simply combine all the ingredients aside from the fruit. Once stirred in, top with fruit and store in a sealed container in the fridge. Take out and enjoy, and feel free to add additions such as chia, walnuts, and a drizzle of honey. So pretty simple. Okay, and our next recipe for breakfast is a scramble, more specifically a veggie breakfast bowl. This recipe yields 1, and you will need a 1/2 cup roasted veggies, your choice, sweet potatoes, zucchini, broccoli, cauliflower, eggplant. These are all great options. 1 egg, 1/2 ounce of shredded cheese, 1/2 cup beans, chickpeas, black beans work great for this, and any additional toppings, cilantro, avocado, greens, salsa, hot sauce, you name it. So we're going to simply start by tossing the veggies in olive oil and roasting at 425. Depending on the veggie, this is going to be from anywhere 25 to 45 minutes. You could also roast a full sheet, so you simply have to reheat if you're a bit shorter on time. But as the veggies are finishing up, add your soaked beans, crack your egg, and sprinkle on some cheese. Allow your egg to cook as desired and transfer all ingredients to a bowl, top with greens and salsa, for example. Again, the options are endless when it comes to these bowls, so get creative, have fun with it. These bowls yield great color, texture, setting you up for a full day of energy. Okay, so it's time for lunch. Friendly reminder, we want to stay focused on real nutrient-dense foods. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, lunch tends to be on the go again, just like breakfast. It might include some sort of handheld item like a sandwich or a wrap. This might be prepared at home or picked up from the drive-thru window. While lunch like this will take your hunger away, it'll leave you with a 2 p.m. crash. Can anyone relate? So let's keep you going through the afternoon and discuss some swaps. So in place of those wraps, simply wrap up the same fillings in lettuce, kale, cabbage, collard greens, or Swiss chard. When it comes to sandwiches, just simply ditch the bread or the bun. Another option, and one that was recently introduced to me, is sweet potato slices. So simply cut the sweet potato to the thickness of bread, cook and dress with your choice of meats, veggies, and spreads. I have yet to try this one, but it sounds super good. And in general, you can really view almost any salad or grain bowl or hearty soup as a deconstructed wrap or sandwich. Take a grain bowl, for example. You could start out with a base of brown rice. Extra points if you take it one step further and opt for cauliflower rice. Add in a serving of veggies. Again, sprinkle in your protein. Top with, seeds, nuts, different dressings like salsa or hummus. Again, we have that beautiful bowl that's going to push us right through the afternoon. Okay, so let's take a look at a few lunch recipes. So first off, we have our hummus collard wraps. This recipe yields 2 tasty wraps. You'll simply need 2 collard leaves, half cup hummus, and the following veggies. Once you have the veggies cleaned and sliced, simply spread the hummus and mashed avocado on the collard greens and then just layer in the veggies. Wrap it up like a burrito and enjoy. Again, you can save it for later. Super simple, super clean lunch recipe. Our next lunch recipe, we have a hearty soup, which isn't a bad idea to have on hand as we do head into some colder months. This recipe is called One Pot Everyday Lentil Soup. Another recipe that you can really put your own twist on by varying veggies and preferred toppings. But this recipe specifically serves 4. It stores up to 5 days in the fridge or up to a month in the freezer. So you'll need the following 10 ingredients, 1 large pot, and about 40 minutes of your time. So starting off, we're going to simply heat the pot, add water, garlic, shallots, carrots, celery, salt, and pepper. Saute a few minutes and then add in the potatoes, followed by the broth and uncooked lentils. Simply let it simmer for 20 minutes and then finish with the last few minutes adding in the kale to soften. Once ready, enjoy or store away for those future lunches. And like I said, put your own twist on this recipe. So this could be the meal itself, topped with a dollop of Greek yogurt. You could pair it with a chicken breast, or you could pour it over some cauliflower rice. Again, a very hearty, healthy alternative to many on-the-go lunches for fall and eventually winter. Okay, so we made it. Last meal of the day, dinner. And for a lot of us, dinner might actually provide the most variety as we may have a bit more time to get creative and meal prep. Some dinners that come to mind are tacos, spaghetti, pizza, casseroles, maybe a boxed meal here or there, or simply meat and potatoes. So let's try and liven it up a little bit. As you can see, a good amount of substitutions for dinner. And remember that leftovers make great for lunch as well. So taking a look, instead of pasta, try opting for spaghetti squash or spiralized veggies. Examples of spiralized veggies include beet, zucchini, and sweet potato. You can actually leave spiralized veggies raw, or you can heat them as you would the pasta. This one I already mentioned, but instead of rice, try out cauliflower rice. I can tell you that I cannot taste a difference, and actually the cauliflower rice takes less time to prepare, so definite win-win. And instead of potatoes, mix it up. There are actually a lot of great root vegetables out there. Try sweet potatoes, plantains, parsnips, or jicama. Again, all great alternatives. And instead of the traditional flour pizza crust, give eggplant slices, homemade sweet potato, or cauliflower crusts a try. You can always make more of the sweet potato and cauliflower crust and store away in the freezer as well. And like we already discussed, swap out the taco shell for simply lettuce, kale, cabbage, collard greens, or Swiss chard wraps. For burritos and enchiladas, swap them out for stuffed peppers, tomatoes, and squash. And instead of lasagnas and other casseroles with the pasta base, try strips of eggplant or any sort of squash that you enjoy. Definite theme. For the most part, you can really swap in whatever veggie, bean, or grain that you would like. So let's take a look at a few recipes. Okay, so first off, we have eggplant pizza. I know it might not sound quite as appealing, but hang with me, I promise you it's great. The fun part is that you have individual bases, so everyone can really dress their own pizza as they wish. So I might want pesto and chicken, you might want marinara and mushroom. You can do just that with this recipe. That said, I do have a specific one just to give you some ideas. So this recipe serves 2, and it takes 1 large eggplant. So cut the recipe in half for a single serving, double, triple as needed. So you'll need the following ingredients and an oven preheated to 400. So you're going to simply slice the eggplant lengthwise, brush a light coat of olive oil on both sides, and sprinkle with salt and pepper. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper and cook the eggplant for 7 to 10 minutes so it gets a little bit crispy. Meanwhile, you're going to want to warm your pizza sauce and veggies, the spinach, over the stove. Simply remove the eggplant, add your toppings, pop back in the oven for about 5 more minutes or until the cheese is melted. Remove, top with fresh oregano, basil, or crushed red pepper, and enjoy. So pretty simple. Our next recipe is taco zucchini boats. The recipe I am using does not actually give units of measurement, but I would suggest 1 small to medium zucchini per serving. So for this recipe, you'll need zucchini, ground beef. This could also be chicken or turkey, your choice. Bell peppers, cheese, taco seasoning, and salt. So again, very straightforward. So we're going to preheat the oven to 400 again and prepare the zucchini by trimming the stems, cutting lengthwise, and hollowing to form the boats. Sprinkle with salt and set aside on a lined baking sheet. And then over the stove, you're going to heat the meat, veggies, and seasoning. And then once that's prepared, fill in the boats, top with cheese, and pop in the oven for 20 minutes or so. Again, pair with some hot sauce, salsa, cilantro, and enjoy. So that's dinner. And let's finish up by discussing a few quick swaps for on-the-go snacks and desserts. Okay, so first off, we have chips and crackers, and I think this might be one of the most popular snacks out there. Unfortunately, not the best for our health or energy. So a few healthy swaps include pepper strips, cucumber slices, carrot sticks, all great for pairing with a slice or two of cheese, dipping into different dips, again, like guacamole or hummus. You could also make your own veggie or fruit chips. Sweet potato, beet, kale, apple, all great examples. Roasted chickpeas, nuts, and seeds are further substitutions as well. Again, all of these great swaps offering versatility and that similar crunch to chips and crackers. No-bake energy bites are a great alternative to cookies. They call for simple, clean ingredients like oats, nut butter, seeds, dried fruit, and even dark chocolate chips. Everything we love about the cookies, but again, these no-bake bites allow you to keep the sugar natural and really on the lower side of things. In place of candy, try opting for a small handful of dried fruit, nuts, and again, dark chocolate. And who doesn't love ice cream? Even though we're getting into fall weather, a great alternative would be homemade popsicles, and we'll actually discuss this one more in the recipes. And in general, the healthy swaps don't stop here. Further snack substitutions could include a quality jerky, again, a piece of string cheese, hard-boiled eggs, air-popped popcorn, olives, again, just to name a few. Okay, so let's take a look at the recipes here. Our first recipe is going to be a swap for those chips or those crackers. This recipe is definitely going to help satisfy a craving for crunch, for salt. It's curry roasted cashews. So you'll need 1 pound of raw cashews, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, a tablespoon curry powder, teaspoon salt, and a sprinkle of cayenne, but this is optional if you don't like the heat. You're going to preheat the oven to 400 and bake on a baking sheet for 7 to 9 minutes. While those are cooking, simply melt the coconut oil in a small saucepan. Once melted, remove from heat, stir in the curry, sea salt, and cayenne. And then you're just going to pour over. Combine the roasted cashews and the sauce in a large bowl and toss well to coat. Enjoy a serving warm and then store away from, again, whenever you're craving that crunch. Okay, so the last recipe, the one I noted, is going to be the homemade popsicles, specifically coconut mixed berry. This recipe allows you a sweet treat, but again, you're able to really limit and control the sugar. It also eliminates any sort of harmful additives, dyes, etc. So first off, you're going to need a popsicle mold, and this recipe is going to yield 10. The ingredients, you'll need 1 can of full-fat coconut milk, a 1/4 cup honey, a teaspoon vanilla, and a 1.5 cups mixed berries. This is really your choice, but this recipe specifically calls for half blackberry, half raspberry. Again, very straightforward. You're going to whisk together the coconut milk, vanilla, and half the amount of honey until smooth and creamy. Then you're going to blend the berries and the rest of the honey separately. Combine the 2 mixtures and pour into the molds. Freeze for at least 4 hours, and there you have it. Sweet, creamy, clean, plant-based treat. Okay, so let's change gears just a little bit here and talk about hydration. Now, I have to be honest, our body is really designed to drink water and really water alone. But I get it. We may want a little caffeine or flavor every now and then. So consider the following swaps. Again, these swaps are designed to really limit sugars and harmful additives. So first off, we have soda. Instead of soda, try opting for a seltzer or carbonated water with a citrus slice, orange, lemon, lime. Rather than juice, try unsweetened iced tea. Again, you can flavor this with a citrus slice. And instead of the with the coffee, the sugar and creamer, try opting for cinnamon and just a splash of whole milk. And instead of the sports and energy drinks, try coconut water out. So again, the overarching theme here is to really swap these processed foods and drinks for whole, real ones. The swaps we discussed provide our bodies with nutrients they need and deserve. Again, they boast vitamins, minerals, we're getting more fiber, more antioxidants, all while reducing the additives, the dyes, and a lot of sugar. I know that some of these swaps might take a bit more time to prepare, a bit more time to get accustomed to. Try and view them as an opportunity for better health and increased energy. You deserve it. Okay, so we've covered nutrition and hydration. Now let's discuss ways to swap in more exercise or movement in general. But how? From what I hear, time and motivation tend to be top barriers. So let's start off with addressing those barriers. In regards to time management, I really challenge you to start off by tracking your commitments, your day-to-day routine for at least 1 week. From this, really study where you have available time to commit to exercise. This should also help with motivation, as we will have sifted through barriers and really devoted a piece of available guiltless time to you and your movement. So let's take a look at a few swaps. So right off the bat, just start by parking further away. Rain or shine, just make it a habit to get the extra steps in. Take the stairs, whether it's 1 flight or 5, really commit. Don't even look at the elevator. You'll get your heart rate elevated going up, and coming down will be a breeze. Try limiting screen time or incorporating activity during it. So try taking just 10 or 15 minutes of that screen time to get some fresh air. I promise you will not miss the lost time behind a computer or a phone. Or start by moving during commercials. On average, there's 16 minutes of commercials for every 1-hour show, so really look to put it to use. Another suggestion or swap, instead of having the TV on as background noise, swap it out for music. You and your family will definitely find that you're dancing and just in general moving more. And work to get the whole family involved. Some ideas: shoot hoops with your kids prior to starting homework, get the dog out on a walk after each dinner, or opt for a family picnic on the weekend. Okay, some other ideas: invest in free weights, resistance bands, or workout programs for at home. At-home workouts will not only save you time commuting to and from a gym, but also a lot of times it saves us some money. And along the lines of at-home workout programs, get creative and design your own circuit. So with this, simply choose 3 or 4 cardio and strengthening exercises. This can include any combination, maybe jumping jacks, high knees, planks, wall sits. Again, options are really endless. But you're going to want to alternate in short bursts of 30 seconds and 3 minutes. Try repeating 2 or 3 times, and there you have it. It's a quick at-home workout requiring no equipment, and it's going to give you results with consistency. Okay, so there we have it for exercise. And our last slide is one that we do not want to overlook. It's the topic of sleep, stress management, and self-care. I chose to combine these because for many of us, they're the first to be sacrificed when time and resources become limited. I'm sure many of you can relate. So what can we do? Just like we did with exercise, I strongly recommend you evaluate your schedule for at least 1 week. Keeping an eye on your sleep patterns and the time you take for you, and this is just you. Again, I know it's easy to sacrifice our personal time, but remember this time is needed. We deserve it. So try not to feel selfish, try not to feel guilty. Again, you deserve the recommended 8 hours of sleep and that time to decompress and recharge. So some swaps. If you find that you're not meeting that recommended 7 or 8 hours, start by allotting just an extra 30 minutes and work your way up. You might find that you are swapping this 30 minutes of sleep for last-minute emails or house chores, but the reality, the emails and house chores are always going to be there. Again, you deserve to get the recommended rest so you have the energy, motivation, and focus to take on those tasks come the next day. I also guarantee that if you study your schedule, you're going to find at least an hour or 2 each week. Take this time to challenge your curiosity, spark creativity, perfect your skills, drive a passion, whatever it may be. Consider joining a volleyball league, volunteering at an animal shelter, taking dance lessons, practicing yoga, crafts, board games, reading. Really work to give your mind and your body a break from that day-to-day routine. It's so refreshing. And then once per month, try and build in some self-care time. Really treat yourself. Remember, you deserve it. Maybe it's a massage, getting out of town for the day, purchasing tickets to a concert, renting kayaks, paddleboards, snowshoes, or skis. Again, these options are endless. Just ensure you swap in some fun time for you. Okay, so I want to thank you all so much for your time today. I truly hope that one or two of these substitutions resonated with you. And if so, I definitely encourage you to write it down, gather a support team, and commit. Again, you deserve the best mental and physical health possible. So I challenge you. What is one healthy swap that you can walk out and make today?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steph, for that. And like she said, pick one thing. You don't have to change a bunch of things. One thing can start that positive domino effect, and you can, a year from now, you're going to thank yourself for starting with one thing that Steph recommended today. So, all right, we'll get to questions here in just a couple minutes. Want to pass along some info. Upcoming webinars next month, family wellness. We're going to talk about ways to keep the entire family healthy. And then in December, we're going to talk about some emotional health, some stress management, those types of things to help get you through the holidays if you struggle a little bit that time of year. And then here's our contact information. We are on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we are on Instagram. That blog right there is where you're going to find the recordings of the webinar. I know a lot of you are going to want to download those great recipes today. So go to the blog. We'll have that up hopefully this afternoon. If not, by tomorrow morning, we'll have that up for you. So go there. And then if you want to chat with us further, if your question does not get answered today, give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd be more than happy to chat about anything. And then a couple extra bonuses today. Just a reminder, if you haven't heard already, Health Check 360 is giving you a chance to win this fall. We're giving away $1,000 each month through December just for using the My Health Check 360 app. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, download it today, and then all you need to do is connect a tracking device like a Fitbit or MyFitnessPal. You don't have to have an actual device. You can download another app, or if you have an iPhone, Apple Health, you just have to sync it, and you're automatically eligible for the drawing. The mobile app, super easy to use, and you can also find results there. You can take your survey. You can schedule coaching calls with us. You can earn lifestyle rewards and do challenges, all that stuff on the app. So again, get started here. You can do the QR code here. You can download it from your Play Store, and then just, again, connect your device, and it's that easy. The winner is going to be contacted directly at the end of each month, for those of you wondering about that. And then one more special thing for this month, just because we love you and we appreciate you being on the webinar today. Tomorrow, if you track your mood in the journal tracking on the app, you're going to get entered for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Again, this is only for tomorrow, which is October 3rd. October is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we just want to give you a chance and show you that helping become more aware of your mind-body connection, your mood, how you're feeling, it can help with some of that self-care that Steph was talking about, stress management, all that good stuff. So again, track your mood tomorrow, and you're going to be eligible for a chance to win $50. All right, and then if your company does lifestyle rewards questions, these are the questions for today, and you're going to know if your company has elected the questions for lifestyle rewards. When you go to submit it on your My Health Check, that's going to be where it's going to be, the questions are just going to pop up. So if you're curious to wonder if your company's doing this or not, all you have to do is go on your My Health Check 360 account and go to submit for the webinar, and if they're there, they're there. If not, all you have to do is submit for today. You don't have to answer the questions. So, all right, enough of me talking. Let's get to some questions here. Hold on one second.